Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you a shoutcast between SoBaD and Sen here on Metalopolis. I have gone through my checklist. There is a t-shirt over my hand on my mouse side. In addition, I also now have a t-shirt underneath my microphone because apparently me clicking transfers energy to the table and it actually bumps the microphone similar to this. So that's a little bit too loud for some players. At some point I will realize that, hey, I don't have to try to listen to everyone, but we'll see if this adds any real quality to my videos, as I do audit all of my videos as I watch them the next day. You know, just listen to my shoutcast, and I did hear a lot of mouse clicking in the previous ones, and that's why the shirt is now back on my mouse hand. So we see Sen spawning over here at the 7 o'clock position as the purple Protoss player. Meanwhile, we have SoBaD Rush spawning as the blue Zerg. So another Zerg versus Protoss matchup. I've been casting a lot of these recently, and I hope to keep on casting more and more of them. Also, I decided not to play any more games today just because I was on such a bad of a run. I think I went 2-7, and just to let you guys know, I went on a 6-game losing streak, so that's how bad it was. And then eventually I was like, you know what, let me just try to win a couple games. Won the last 2 out of 3. And I was like, okay, I can deal with that. 2 out of 3 on the last ones, and it's okay. So we now see a drone now moving out and a probe moving up this ramp as well. We are going to see now a 14 hatchery coming into position here. So SoBaD Rush getting for a 14 hatchery, looking into the base of Sen though. Sen getting an early assimilator as well, not going for any 2-gate push with those Zealots. Zealot 2-gate push, not that strong against a Zerg player. And now SoBaD Rush just wandering around and not quite sure what he saw there. Did that probe? No, the probe didn't get a kill, so not quite sure why SoBaD Rush was doing the little ... like something happened, unless I missed something once again. Taking a look at SoBaD Rush's base. SoBaD Rush's base and finally getting a spawning pool. So that spawning pool is a little bit later than normal just because of this early hatchery. So SoBaD Rush, I'm not going to be rushing for Zerglings anytime soon, as a drone now just continuing to make sure that this one probe, oh, now getting stuck, so nicely done. Sen now being very smart, using mineral pathing in order to get that one probe out of there, and now moving out. We do see a lot of probes now coming off the mineral line as well, trying to deal damage towards this one drone. And now we also see 5 probes, so 5 probes now moving out. I do not see any forge in play, so with no forge in play, I am very curious as to what exactly is going to be happening here. So we see a lot of drones off the mineral line, one poor probe getting stuck, and now a Zealot trying to fight off a large number of units here. And now probes also coming off the mineral line, probes fighting back and forth, both sides doing a lot of damage, probes zapping each other. Those probes do have the regenerative shield, so we'll be able, and a nice surround, almost a surround onto that drone. Drones can mineral path, and now Zerglings coming off the mineral line as well. We do see that this one pylon is still sitting over here, and now Zerglings with that Zealot going to engage another Zealot coming in to join in on this fight. You got to remember that the Zerg, or the probe attack, does help cut through those Zerglings much more easily, as more probes just trying to engage back and forth. A lot of drones, a lot of Zerglings, as more Zealots should be coming in momentarily to re-engage on this fight. Another probe now taken down, so it's going to be 3 Zealots and 1 probe versus a lot of drones and Zerglings. And now SoBaD Rush being forced to just constantly produce Zerglings and not being able to power drone like he wants to. We do see that there's one pylon in the backside of that base still. No photon cannons coming in because there is no forge. However, how is this all going to work out? Zealots now trying to engage as well. Zealots now just moving out with these, and Zealots now trying to move out, and we do see 4 Zealots against a lot of these Zerglings here. Will these Zealots be able to get off a couple quick kills? No, one group of Zerglings able to just get a surround and take down one of those units there. So we have a nice swarm of Zerglings here against 3 Zealots. Those Zealots, as long as they're able to get some attacks before they get surrounded, may be able to come out on the winning end of this fight. But no, too much micro coming in from SoBaD Rush. SoBaD Rush doing a great job. Zealots trying to make sure that they're able to just half slice any of these units, and now you're going to see a lot of those Zerglings pretty much down to only in the red. And now we should probably see one Cybernetic Core in play. We do see a Zealot currently being chrono boost for the save by Sen. Those Zerglings will not be able to run up that ramp. There was that one Overlord there. A Cybernetics Core being positioned here. Not quite sure why he built a second Cybernetics Core. He most likely should cancel that. Otherwise, Sen is going to look like a fool with double Cybernetics Cores. Cancel that, perhaps get another gateway. You make 2 buy. I guess CYs. So just a little bit funny there. And Sen's like doing a little question mark, like, what are you talking about? Oh, and then he Alright, this is just a funny game. This must be a practice game of some sort. So, and Sen says, thank you, you're a good man. I know you guys can read this, but I'm enjoying reading this conversation between these two players. Back into the game now, we see SoBaD Rush continuing to just get more and more drones. Not too far behind, sitting on 21 harvesters compared to 25. The mineral count on both sides about the same as Sen, only able to mine off of 8 mineral patches instead of 16. Zealots now moving on. That's going to be a little bit of a dangerous scenario, and now finally moving into there. Very nicely done. Zerglings will not be able to get by, and another Zealot gets a final kill there, and now 2 Zealots making their way out, and we also have another Sentry coming in as well. So Sentry and now a Probe making its way down over here to the low ground position. Will be warping in a Nexus in just a moment. There we go, and those Zerglings will already run all the way home. Production wise, we do see 3 drones, another spine crawler, and a lot of things being produced by Sen. So Sen staying very much on top of his macros. Sentries, Zealot, Sentries, Warp Gate research, level 1 weapons upgrade. Yeah, all off of 3 gateways, and as soon as the Warp Gate research is completed, you should see 3 additional Zealots coming out, and those Zealots with that level 1 weapons upgrade will be very strong. And we also see Hallucination, one of my favorite abilities from the Sentry that is rarely ever used. Hallucinations do a really great job at just confusing your opponent. We will see most likely a couple Hallucination Zealots or 1 Phoenix being called into play in order to do some scouting. We do see 1 Zergling sitting over here and an Overlord watching over here and making sure that the Protoss player is unable to move out. I do not see any observers with no robotics facility currently in play. And now Sen just concentrating more and more, trying to train up more units, continuing to chrono boost that Hallucination. And that Hallucination will be able to complete in just a few more seconds. What, about 40 game seconds left, about 30 real-time seconds. We also see a lot of spine crawlers down here on the low ground. So SoBaD Rush doing a great, or SoBaD, not Soba, SoBaD Rush will be able to fend off any sort of Zealot and any Zealot Sentry play as they try to come in. However, with this creep highway, he will also be able to be very aggressive as well. We also see a Hydralisk den, which means that this creep highway will will give those Hydralisks much faster movement speed as these units now move out. We do see that Hallucination Phoenix now making its way out across the field, trying to look for any quick units over here. Now trying to look for key tech buildings. We'll see that Hydralisk den over there, and now that Phoenix not really dealing any damage. So SoBaD Rush knows that that Phoenix is just simply hallucination and not dealing any damage. We do see another Phoenix Hallucination now making its way out across the map. Hallucinations only last 60 seconds. So as it makes its way out across the map, we will see a lot of the scouting information, and now Hydralisk coming in as well. Hydralisk will be able to get off a couple quick shots onto that Hallucination, taking it down. Hallucinations take double damage, and now with this creep highway and SoBaD Rush now moving out with these spine crawlers, this is going to be a very aggressive play. Sen does have some photon cannons over here on the low ground. Army-wise, though, we have Sen sitting on a much smaller army. Down goes 1 Zergling. Stalker's now trying to walk its way up, and this is going to be very bad in just a second. There we go. We do see a couple of spine crawlers now trying to root, and they will be able to root just in time. And all of Sen's units will be forced to pull back here. Things not looking too good. We finally get that robotics facility, and now the level 1 ground armor upgrade for these Stalkers. So Stalkers and Sentries getting the level 1 ground armor upgrades in addition to that level 1 weapons upgrade. So these Hydralisks will be able to push out and do a fair amount of damage with those spine crawlers behind them, offering them support. Perhaps SoBaD Rush now just waiting for that Groove Spines research to be completed. We see creep tumors continuing to be spread, and now that creep tumor will get shot down very quickly. No observer needed, as it was not burrowed just quite yet. And now there are a lot of photon cannons here. So Sen playing cannon defense over here at this front door, making it very difficult. You remember, these photon cannons cannot move. So once they are in position, they cannot be salvaged, they cannot move, and they are just permanent defense there until they are destroyed. We do see that the observer now just floating up onto the high ground will be able to see these spine crawlers, and now SoBaD Rush also getting another hatchery over here, trying to harvest that high yield mineral location. A very nice force field's coming in, so SoBaD Rush getting caught on the wrong side of that force field play, and now we see 1 spine crawler coming in position. However, that spine crawler will not be able to finish rooting, and now in come 2 force fields there. So that force field, so a very bad position there. That 1 spine crawler trying to make its way off the creep, now once again going to root itself in this position. And now we see the extended thermal lance range research currently being researched by that robotics bay. We also see a lot of Hydralisks. Hydralisks are fairly strong against Stalkers, just because Stalkers only deal 10 damage per attack, 11 if you have the level 1 weapons upgrade against those Hydralisks. Hydralisks are not armored units, and in return, Hydralisks also attack faster and deal more damage back towards those spine crawlers. So we have a lot of Zerglings sitting over here. These Hydralisks may be able to just simply move, attack, and get some damage done. We do see some of these spine crawlers now trying to come into position. Spine crawler constantly just dancing inside and outside of this range, not getting hit, and now those spine crawlers just walking up this ramp over here, getting some damage. However, some of these photon cannons will get taken down as well. We do see one spine crawler coming in position. However, the Hydralisk not pushing in, and in comes Sen with one Colossus. Colossus getting a lot of damage in. That Colossus may get taken down. However, all those photon cannons are getting with that high DPS against those Hydralisks, able to just push them back once again. Photon cannons dealing 20 damage against those Hydralisks. So nicely done. We do see 12 Hydralisks now on this low ground here. More spine crawlers as SoBaD now taking his third base, trying to saturate this location here, and now finally getting that additional gas. So that additional gas will help him out tremendously. We also see a lot of these Hydralisks just constantly moving around. I'm a little surprised that SoBaD Rush is not making an Overseer just quite yet. He has to know that there is an observer in this location, so one Overseer would be able to spot that one observer and then just shoot it out of the sky. Spine crawlers now taking a lot of damage as well. Another group of force fields, nicely done. And these stalkers will be able to just simply shoot down from that high ground. However, roaches now coming in from the back and now getting some damage over here as these roaches perhaps going to go after some of those sentries. Unable to get those sentries as another force field being placed down. I believe, oh, is that 2 force fields or 1? It looks like there's 2 just stacked up on top of each other right there. As now we have 3 Colossi. So these Colossi with that extended thermal lance range will be able to simply slice through all of these spine crawlers, and SoBaD Rush will be forced to retreat here, not being able to be too aggressive, and now just run back with these units here. And one spine crawler getting caught off of creep, very, very slow movement speed. And now will it be able to catch up back onto creep? And there it goes, now back on creep, only a movement speed of 1.5, trying to root itself once again. There are a fair amount of Colossus now in the air, and now just simply slicing through all of these spine crawlers. Hydralisks now trying to come in onto this high ground over here, but however, will just run into the army of Sen. Sen doing a great job using this high ground advantage against his opponents, and using some great force fields as well, making them come to a very, very tight choke point here. However, they are now surrounded. Roaches with that movement speed upgrade will be able to deal a lot of damage. Hydralisks do not have that movement speed upgrade, however, are the main DPS in this army as these roaches continue to give chase, taking down so many of these Colossi. Another Colossi taking down, one Colossi down to 8 hit points, and these units now being forced to pull back once again. Taking a look at the army tab, both sides fairly even. Production-wise, we see roaches and now burrow being researched and tunneling claws for those roaches. So those roaches will be able to recover and get all of their hit points back as they recharge their health very, very quickly while underground. A lot of these Hydralisks here, just 12 of them, level 1 weapons upgrade, no level 2 weapons upgrade yet, as 2 additional Colossi still being trained. So double robotics facility over here, double training Colossi, and those Colossi will be very strong. As we now see Sen taking a book out of the Terran playbook, or taking a play out of the Terran playbook, and now expanding into his opponent's base in that general direction. Stay tuned for part 2 of this replay between Sen and SoBaD here on Metalopolis.